Welcome back to another Foeontheflicks. In this review, I'm going to be talking about the new 2021 drama called TheSurvivor, starring Ben Foster, Zuzovsky, Billy Magnuson, Vicky Krieps, Peter Sarsgaard, Danny DeVito, and among others. Anyway, this was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm not huge on dramas; those aren't my go-tos. I'm more of a fantasy, sci-fi, horror, thriller kind of. That's what I like the best. But I'm not opposed to good dramas or good comedies and the occasional romance. If there's some comedy in there, I'm not a big fan of straight romance. Used to be when I was in love and all that cheesy shit, but here's the premise. After being sent to Auschwitz, Harry Haft is forced to participate in a gladiatorial boxing spectacle along with his fellow prisoners. 79% like this movie, 85% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to give it a good 90% on the faux scale, in my opinion. Ben Foster nailed this. I mean, and the disguise, the costume to make him Harry Haft was so good that I didn't even know it was Ben Foster until like 10 minutes through the movie. I was like, I heard him talk like this because he's a Jewish guy and he says down the route 66. And I was like, who is that? And I looked it up. I was like, oh my God, that is Ben Foster. That's who it sounded like. He's a great actor. One of my favorites. He's in my top tier, but the movie was great. This is spoiler free. So basically, from the premise, it's a super terrible story about during the Holocaust when the Nazis were killing everybody. They started making boxing matches between Jews, and basically they'd give them shitty leather gloves. I mean, super old school stuff. Uh, Crappy mouth guard. I mean, the gloves were like barely anything really, just like leather gloves. That's it. Here to protect your bones. That's all they said. And so yeah, it's crazy. It's a super good drama. Harry is. It starts out as like a look back movie. He's older, when the movie starts, and then he meets a. He's an older he's still boxing, but he's like kind of on the lower level, kind of on his way out. But he's trying to get this fight with Rocky Marciano because he wants to. He's still trying to find his long lost love from back when the Holocaust started. They got split up, and but he still had his heart. You know, she got him through all the crazy fights and boxing matches. It was horror. I mean, the horror you can imagine from the Holocaust. Imagine having to literally beat other Jewish, your own people to death in order to survive. And he got special treatment for what you would imagine to the extent that a Jew could get special treatment. He still got treated like a Jew, but he did get perks from performing. And it's just super deep and riveting story. You can tell that he carries the guilt with him through his later days. And after telling his story, a lot of his Jewish community they call him a traitor, and they're not pleased with his story coming out. And it's all true from his telling. I'm not sure how accurate the movie is based on historical events. I don't think he really ever fought Marciano, but Harry Haft really went through all this, and it's just a nuts story, man, because from what it seems like, he boxed hundreds and hundreds of Jewish prisoners and and beat them to pulps. I mean, there were no referee. It was last man standing every single fight. And Harry was the last man standing in every single fight. Otherwise, he would have probably been dead, you know? And that's got to be a tough spot to be in, you know? Bullet to your head, fight this other man who's of your same religion, your same heritage, whatever culture, orientation, and if you don't, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. So you're just like, fuck, man. It's really, he had no choice. I mean, everyone has a choice, but he chose to just fight rather than to give up on life, because he had that burning love and longing for his long lost love, and he knew he had to stay alive to if he was ever going to see her again. And that's what motivated him to box the way he did. And he was really good compared to, you know, all the Jewish farmers and normal going folk at the time, which is pretty fucked up, to be honest, because he had boxing experience. So he just, right from the get-go, was just destroying people. And then there's this one fight where they bring in somebody who's actually a decent boxer, and like I said, it's last man standing. So I think I don't recollect how many rounds they went, but it was like, I think it got to the 50s, and it's a little insane. It's a little much, because with those type of gloves back then, there's no way they were standing after like 5 rounds, but they go 50 some, and anyone taking those many shots will be dead. So yeah, it's a big drama, but it was super good. I enjoyed it. It's super emotionally riveting. And yeah, I like old movies. I prefer medieval movies, but I like old war movies too, from World War One and Two. They're just so interesting, and just such good stories most of the time, and such dire circumstances that it makes for a great movie. And yeah, Harry Haft, played by Ben Foster, The Survivor. That's my review. I don't want to give any spoilers away, so I'm going to wrap it up here, and I give it a 90% on the Foe scale. I recommend it. I think you can stream it on HBO Max right now. I watched it a couple months back, but it's still fresh in my memory, like most things I watch. And so that's my review. Great acting, super good acting, and Harry's relationship with the Nazi who's in charge of him, his like Nazi manager. It's super interesting, and definitely you're going to want to see it, because the dynamic, it's like, it's so fucking deep and strange and wrong and fucked up, and but it does have a satisfying payoff, so you're going to want to watch it. And if you have already seen it, let me know your thoughts and comments below. But that's my review of The Survivor, starring Ben Foster, based on a true story about a Polish boxer, Harry Haft, who was forced to box against other prisoners during the Holocaust. And that's the review. Thanks for watching Foeontheflicks, guys. I'm going to have a new laptop where I'll be able to edit videos and eventually get a green screen and learn how to make the channel way more professional, because we're not doing so good right now. Kind of peaked. Now we're kind of at a valley. But you know what they say, consistency is key, so gonna keep making the reviews, because I'm not gonna stop watching movies and TV shows. So I might as well keep doing the reviews because I enjoy it, even though hardly nobody watches them. But thanks for you guys who do subscribe. I do appreciate it. And go ahead and like it and comment too. Don't be shy. But if you don't, it's cool too, because I'll still be here in case you change your mind. Peace.